All right, what's happening, golf addicts? DB here, flying solo again for the Tour Junkies After Dark show, presented by DK Sportsbook. My fearless co-host and lovely co-host Pat is out. We just got back from a Scotland trip. Pat had horrible travel issues, and so it's just me tonight for the Travelers Championship 2022 from TPC River Highlands in Cromwell, Connecticut. Par 70, Pete Dye design, second shortest track on the PGA Tour. Anybody can win here. DJ's won here, Phil's won here, Bubba's won here, but so has Ches Reavie and Kevin Streelman and defending champ Harris English. It's really anybody's game. You're going to have a lot of short irons, a lot of mid irons into these greens. Greens are small. They're bent grass. They putt pretty pure. The fairways are wider than average, but the rough can be kind of brutal at times. I think your winning score this week in Cromwell is going to be somewhere between like that 14 and 19 under. So, there's going to be birdies, right? There's a couple par fives that are gettable by everybody in the field. There's two short par fours. There's 8 other par fours that are less than 450 yards. It's gettable. You got to be got to be ready to go, got to be in form. We're going to talk about some value on the DK Sportsbook betting board and some top 20s that I like. But before we do that, go ahead and click the thumbs up button here on the DraftKings channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'd be interested to know your thoughts on the U.S. Open. Is Matthew Fitzpatrick what you wanted to happen? Who screwed you? That's probably the most fun question to answer is who really boned you in the end, right? Like, who did you need to happen in DFS or that you had on your betting card or whatever it was? Who really got you? Who really got your gooch? And that's not a Taylor Gooch joke, okay? Who got it? All right, let's get into it. DraftKings Sportsbook, looking at the betting odds, there's 2 names up at the top of the board. I would call them favorites for me that are interesting, and it's Sam Burns to start at 18-1. Listen, Sam Burns is that dude. He is I've said it a bunch of times. I'm going to keep saying it. He's a killer on the golf course. He didn't kill on Sunday at the U.S. Open when I had him at 35-1. But you can't do it every week. It's still golf, right? It's still going to happen. Finished 13th here last year, 24th in 2020, 43rd the year before that. And Sam, has been obviously golfing his ball quite well. 4th at the RBC Canadian. That was after he won the Colonial won the Charles Schwab at Colonial. The guy is, I think he's a top 5 to 7 player in the world right now. I really do. I'd put him ahead of guys like Patrick Cantlay. I think he's just a killer, and I trust him more to get it done when it comes to outrights. I put him above a guy like Xander Schauffele. So 18-1, I'll take the value from DraftKings. I think it's a good number. I like Sam Burns. I also like Jordan Spieth right there below him at 20-1. Now, Jordan was battling a little bit of an illness at the U.S. Open, and I think that may have led to the lackluster play that we saw from Jordan. Even though it wasn't terrible, he finished 37th, but just won the RBC Heritage, finished runner-up at the Byron, should have won the Byron Nelson, honestly. I think Jordan is for sure in play here. He is a winner here at the Travelers. He won in 2017, hold out a bunker shot to beat Daniel Berger. And, all things are really clicking for Jordan in terms of ball striking. The problem is with the putter, and that was the problem, again, at the U.S. Open. That was where he kind of finished just average with the field, but he gained strokes on approach. He's kind of average off the tee. But the ball striking has been fairly solid for Jordan. I like that. The putter, we know for him, can come around and will come around. I mean, I don't believe Jordan's going to continue to struggle with the flat stick the way that he has. And a struggle for him is still pretty freaking good. I mean, and he did just gain 5 strokes putting at Memorial. So we know it can get there. It can be in there. Maybe with Jordan, it's just like, maybe for some reason right now he's lost the consistency that we're used to seeing. So anyway, I think it can come back. Another guy that really disappointed is at 35-1, and that's Sungjae Im. Sungjae was the most popular player in DFS slates last week. He was owned at like 28%. He was a tremendous value at 7,400 or 7,600 and just missed the cut on the number. And, that sucks. That sucks if you had Sungjae Im. But, he's still a player that does everything really, really well. And he's not a player that's going to overwhelm you with distance, but he's very accurate off the tee. The irons are very sharp, and he's got a great short game and an average putter. But that's all you really need out of Sungjae. I think Sungjae is for sure in play here at the 35-1 number. He's played here twice, finished 21st and 58th. Sungjae at 35 seems like a good value to me. I'll take it. And then right there below him are a couple guys at 40 to 1, that I think we should get now. If you can get it at 40 to 1, I think you should get it now. And it's Brian Harmon and Davis Riley. Now, Davis Riley's the young gun, the rookie, the University of Alabama product, who I think has 4 top 10s in his last 9 starts. He's played in 2 majors. He's already got good finishes in those 2 majors. This kid looks like another young killer on the PGA Tour. I mean, his last 5 events, 31st, 13th, 4th, 13th, 9th. The win is coming. He nearly won the Valspar when he lost in a playoff to Sam Burns on the first playoff hole when Sam Burns drained a long putt. Riley just checks every box. He has one of the most beautiful golf swings on God's green earth. Okay. It's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. I think Harmon is due to get his win, and I think he can do it in a field like this, even with a little stronger field than maybe we're used to seeing at the Travelers Championship. Coming off of T43 is Brian Harmon at the U.S. Open, but Harmon loves him some TPC River Highlands. Here are his recent finishes. 21st in 2021, 5th. Missed the cut in 2020. It was a COVID summer. It was coming off of the whole break. I mean, whatever. Excuse that. 8th in 2019. 6th in 2018. Finished 3rd in 2015. Like, Brian Harmon loves this place. This is a place he doesn't have to hit it a mile. You know, he can use his short game. He loves putting these green surfaces. He's had some major spike weeks on these greens. That's usually something that can at times hold him back. So I think Harmon at 40 to 1. It doesn't feel like you're getting a stud that's really going to slam the door on the competition, but it's TPC River Highlands. Like Ches Reavie, like I said, is one here. So it is what it is. Another course horse, but also a guy who's like very low key playing well again, and that's Brendan Steele. Brendan Steele is at 65 to 1, and he's coming off a 10th place finish at the Memorial, a 9th place finish at the PGA, finished 13th at the Players, 26th at the Arnold Palmer. Brendan Steele is a PGA Tour winner. I think he's won 3 times on the PGA Tour. He's a PGA Tour winner. He's a long hitter. He hits it plenty far, and he's known to be a ball striker, good iron player. And his record here has been fantastic, arguably better than Brian Harmon's. He's played here every year since 2012. He's only missed 2 cuts. He's got a 6th in 2020, a 5th in 2014, tons of top 25s. Actually, every time he's made the cut since 2012. So every time but twice, it's been a top 25. Brendan Steele absolutely loves this place, and he does it ball striking. He does it off the tee, and he actually gains. He must love these greens because typically he's in the red in terms of strokes gained putting. Well, he's in the very green in terms of strokes gained putting here at TPC River Highlands. So I think Brendan Steele, a guy who's trending in form, a guy with a three-time PGA Tour winner, he's got the chops to close the deal and get it done. I think Steele is a great value at 65 to 1, maybe one of my favorite values on the board. Another couple favorite values, getting into the triple digits for me, Brendan Todd at 100 to 1. Another guy who's won a couple of times on the PGA Tour and came close to winning just a couple of weeks ago. I think it was the Schwab. Let's see. Yeah, it was the Charles Schwab where he finished 3rd place, kind of had himself in contention and didn't quite close the door on Sunday. But he's got good finishes here. He's made 3 of 5 cuts here, 30th, 11th, and 15th place finishes. Brendan Todd is, he's a 3-time winner like Brendan Steele. That we got the Brendans this week. But this is a perfect course for him. Dink and dunker, like Harmon, doesn't lose strokes because he can't hit it to 99 every single time. He's one of the shorter hitters on the PGA Tour, but very accurate and a great putter. And when he's trending, he's trending. So, and I think he's trending. 3rd at the Schwab, 13th at the Canadian. I think Brendan Todd at 100 to 1 just seems like too much win equity. There's a lot of guys shorter than him. I would much rather have Brendan Todd. I guess the other name that I think is a just ridiculous value on DraftKings, and you're probably throwing money away. Okay, you're throwing away money, but it's the reason he's 200 to 1, and it's Russell Knox. Okay, I get it, David. You love Russell Knox. You pick him all the time. I do. You're right. But he is a 2-time winner on the PGA Tour. Now, the last time he won was this event in 2016. He was your Travelers champion, Mr. Russell Knox. He also has won a WGC event the year before that in 2015. But Knox is, the form has been okay. The ball striking's been a little below average for maybe Russell Knox's total PGA Tour career and the profile that he's had. But it's just one of those courses that just fits him. And I think it suits his eye, and it's a good spot for him. So Russell Knox, to me, at 200 to 1, I think is worth a look. Now, going to the top 20 market may be the better place to take a name like Russell Knox. And I got a few names in the top 20 spots that I think, are probably better off. So Knox is at plus 450. Matt Naismith is at plus 400. This kid is a ball striking machine. Also played really well at the U.S. Open. I think Naismith's in play at plus 400. Joel Damon is at plus 330. Now, a lot of people might bet Joel to win this week, and it is a really good golf course for Joel. Joel loves a place that he doesn't have to hit it a mile. That's one reason why he said he played well at Brookline. Didn't feel like it was like a winged foot situation where you just hit it 300 miles and move on. But I think the week after a major where he contends top 10, he's trying to get into the Open Championship. He's going to play the Scottish Open next week. I don't know if I love him to win, but I do love him as a top 20 bet. I think he's probably one of my favorite just overall value top 20s where you can get over 3 to 1 on your money at plus 330. I love that. Brendan Todd, who I just talked about, is also plus 330. I think that's a nice bet. A name that I didn't talk about outright because I don't think he can win. I don't think he's ready to win yet. I want to see him in the hunt late on a Sunday, and we've not seen that yet. But we have seen him finish top 20 plenty of times. And from a course fit standpoint, Christian Bezuidenhout definitely fits this place. The South African is 2 to 1. I like that for a top 20, much more comfortable with him. And then a couple other names, Harman and Davis Riley, who I've already mentioned as outrights. They're both at plus 170. Those are my early looks and leans for DraftKings Sportsbook and the Travelers Championship. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up. Give us a comment. Who screwed you last week at the U.S. Open? And subscribe to the DK YouTube channel. And let's have a fantastic week. May your screens be green. See ya.